This is KTAB for you.
Welcome back to our KTAB for you. Today in our pet segment, we have Dr. Janice Price here from the Windmill Animal Hospital to talk about how the heat impacts our pets. Thank you, Dr. Price, for joining us.
My pleasure.
And let's talk about it. It's always, we always need to talk about it because people overlook the dangers.
Every year we see heat stroke dogs and cats and heat stress dogs and cats, and every year some of them die. And it's always preventable.
And let's talk about, for the average person, you have a dog, and what are the key things you need to know to keep them safe?
Well, in a general term, if you have a dog that's outside, to be comfortable during the heat of the day, the dog needs shade, needs moving air, and needs cool water. And shade can be problematic in some backyards because when the sun comes over in the west side of the yard, is there still shade available? He's got to have moving air. If he's in the shade and it's 110 degrees and no air is moving, then his panting apparatus, which is how he cools off, doesn't work. And then he needs cool water because dogs pant and salivate. That's how they cool off. And if their water bucket's sitting in the sun boiling, they can't drink any water.
Right.
So, for example, many houses need to put a bucket on the east side of the house and a bucket on the west side of the house. So there's always a bucket in the shade that the dog can drink from.
That's a good idea. Now let's talk about the one big thing. You often see animals traveling in cars with people. What would you like to tell people when they take their animal on a ride with them?
Leave the dog at home. If it's 100 degrees, I mean, there is not an errand you can run quick enough that car is not going to get too hot. Let's say it's 90 degrees outside, which is every day in June, July, and August.
If you're lucky, too.
Okay, and you dash in the store for just a minute. Well, in 20 minutes, the car is over 120 degrees.
Dangerous.
That's inexcusable. And with regards to pickup truck owners, I think I've become a little famous in this town for stopping and lecturing because in the back of a pickup with bed liners or bare metal, the dog's feet are burning.
Right.
And I treated a Great Dane yesterday for a thermal burn on his chest. He was hauled in the back of a pickup from Northern California through Arizona to Texas. And it happens, and none of us want it to happen, so use your common sense. Don't take your pet with you when you're running errands in the summer.
And another thing that I would assume would be peace of mind here is if it's too hot for you,
it's too hot for the dog or the cat, for that matter. And just think it through. If you have a snub-nosed breed like a pug or a bulldog, Shih Tzu, something like that, then you need to be extra careful. These dogs can overheat when it's just 75 or 80 degrees. If the air is humid and the air is still. So you have to be very, very careful.
Well, we appreciate you sharing tips on that. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we leave?
Oh, you can install a box fan up under the eave of your house if you have a covered terrace on the back of your house to where it aims a stream of air down to where the dog can lay in the pool of moving air.
And
that one trick, I mean, that's a $20 trick that can save your dog's life.
Good advice. Thank you, Dr. Price, for sharing with us. And keep those pets safe. If you want to get in contact with Dr. Price, if you have any other questions, the information's there for you on the screen.